How did a group of small colonies become the most powerful country on Earth? How did a nation built on slavery become a leader in technology and global influence? And why does the United States shape so much of the modern world? In the next 10 minutes, the entire history of the United States. Long before Europeans arrived, millions of Native Americans lived across North America. In 1607, the first permanent English settlement was founded at Jamestown. By the 1700s, 13 British colonies stretched along the East Coast. Tensions with Britain grew over taxation. Colonists protested. No taxation without representation. In 1773, the Boston Tea Party signaled open resistance. War followed. On July 4, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was adopted. One of its main authors was Thomas Jefferson. After years of war, the colonies defeated Britain. In 1787, the U.S. Constitution was written, still one of the oldest functioning constitutions in the world. The first president was George Washington. In 1803, the United States doubled its size through the Louisiana Purchase. Settlers moved west in search of land and opportunity. But expansion came at a cost: Native American displacement and growing tensions over slavery. The North industrialized. The South relied heavily on enslaved labor. The nation became increasingly divided. In 1861, Civil War erupted. President Abraham Lincoln led the Union against the Confederacy. After 4 brutal years, the Union won in 1865. Slavery was abolished. But racial discrimination would continue for nearly a century. By the late 1800s, America transformed into an industrial powerhouse. Railroads expanded across the continent. Oil, steel, and banking empires were built. Immigrants arrived by the millions. In 1898, after the Spanish-American War, the U.S. emerged as a global power. The United States entered World War I in 1917, tipping the balance toward Allied victory. In 1929, the Great Depression devastated the economy. President Franklin D. Roosevelt launched the New Deal to stabilize the country. After Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, the U.S. entered World War II. In 1945, the war ended. The United States emerged as one of 2 global superpowers. A decades-long rivalry with the Soviet Union began. It was a battle of ideology, military strength, and space exploration. In 1969, American astronauts landed on the moon. At home, the civil rights movement challenged segregation and inequality. Martin Luther King Jr. became a central figure in the fight for racial equality. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. The United States stood as the world's only superpower. On September 11, 2001, terrorist attacks shocked the nation. The U.S. launched the War on Terror and became involved in long conflicts in the Middle East. Meanwhile, the rise of Silicon Valley reshaped the global economy. Companies like Apple, Google, and Microsoft transformed technology, communication, and daily life. America became a leader in innovation, entertainment, and global finance. Today, the United States faces political polarization, economic inequality, competition with China, social justice debates. Yet it remains one of the most powerful and influential nations in the world. But America's story isn't just about power, it's about adaptation. The country is now entering a new era defined by artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and global competition. Silicon Valley continues to push innovation. Private space companies are returning the U.S. to the forefront of space exploration. At the same time, debates over democracy, identity, and economic inequality are shaping the nation's direction. The United States is no longer the uncontested superpower of the 1990s, but it remains one of the most influential forces in global politics, culture, and technology. The question now isn't whether America will change. It's how it will redefine itself in the decades ahead. From 13 colonies to a global superpower, from civil war to civil rights, from industrial factories to artificial intelligence. The story of the United States is one of conflict, transformation, and reinvention. And that story is still being written.